I don't want to hear
Fuck
their mouths.
those kids. Half of them are going to end up dead or in jail anyway.
Yo, some of you may know I taught for a while, and I started noticing the similarities between schools and prisons. Like schools, churches, and prisons, they all serve the same function, and that will be a way of enforcing social reform. Think about how you walk on the right side of the hallway in schools, that you drive on the right side of the highway when you're driving. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same architects that design schools design prisons as well. Because you got them long corridors, church and prison. You got classrooms and cells that have them narrow windows. A lot of schools are designed where they got them narrow windows, not no big, bright, airy window that lets a lot of light in. Schools and prisons, same thing. You got a courtyard, school, prison. Cafeteria, school, prison. Gymnasium, school, prison. Both of them, schools and prisons, they both take away your freedom. Like, you break the law, you go to jail. But you go to school just for being a kid. And let's not really, get twisted here. Schools are nothing more than a way of keeping a child safe while their parents are at work for most of the day. You're only in school 6 hours, but your parents work 8 hours. You get out of school at 3 o'clock. Your parents get home at 5. Between the hours of 3 and 5, that's when the mischievous kids start joyriding in cars, breaking windows, getting their girlfriends pregnant, shoplifting from stores right out of school. There's a 7-Eleven right across the school. When school lets out, them kids, boost everything from out of them 7-Elevens and shit like that. Seriously. So both a school and a prison, they use security as a means of control. There's metal detectors in both of them. Surveillance cameras, police, sniffing dogs, shit like that. Same thing, man. It's like, okay, you got here, this first picture here. This is prison food, right? Take a look at it. And then the second picture is school food. Do you see any difference at all? No, you don't. You don't see no damn difference. I mean, they both enforce a strict dress code. You gotta wear uniforms in a lot of these schools. They identify the kids by the color. Like if it's a middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. 6th graders will wear one color shirt. 7th graders another color shirt. 8th graders another color shirt. And in prison you wear those those orange jumpsuits. Same thing, man. They have armed guards in both of them. Prisons and schools. Like, even though a school doesn't have fences to keep you in, like invisible fences, if you leave the school, there's going to be somebody armed to come bring your ass back. You don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? They force you to work in prison and in school. Whether you got to do that shit, clean up the highway or whatever they feel like making you do, you do. In school, the same thing. You get consequences for not working, doing your schoolwork in school and being disruptive to the class. You get sent to the ISS room, which is like a prison inside the school. And I ran a couple of those too. And that was really what got me to like, you know what? Fuck these kids. Half of them going to wind up dead or in jail anyway. Like, seriously. It's a shame too. A lot of those kids know that they were going to end up in prison. Because I would try to reason with them at times and say, where do you see yourself in 10 years? They'd be like, in jail. And, this is how I knew I shouldn't have been there, because I actually laughed sometimes when they would say that, because it was funny, because I knew that that's where they were going to end up. Hopefully that is where they are, because we're all safer with some of them kids being locked up, and those kids got food and shelter and, have a place to stay, something to eat. You know how that works. There's strict schedules in both schools and prisons. They tell you when you're going to eat, when to use the bathroom. It's the same thing. And like I said, it's really about being a glorified babysitter. And there were only a few teachers that I came across that saw it for what it really truly was. A lot of the other teachers would be like, it is what it is. Just sit here and be quiet and get your pension and earn a good living. But I got into the shit because I thought I was going to change lives, and it doesn't work like that in a great enough capacity where I personally didn't get any enjoyment or fulfillment out of it at all. So if you got a young child or a person teenager, nephew, niece, or whatever, that wants to be a teacher, you make sure you tell them that it's not what it's cracked up to be, man, for real. It's just not what it's cracked up to be. It's actually, I see it as a waste of time because you're not able to teach the kids the way you want to. Like when a kid asked me would I be friends with a gay person, I told him in a working relationship, yeah, but I don't see myself inviting him to my house and we wouldn't be going out to have drinks. I got sat down and told that I couldn't say those kind of things. And that right there told me that I don't need to be teaching them because I'm not about to tell a kid to do anything that I personally wouldn't do. So it's a shame, but I'm glad I'm no longer wasting my time and my energy trying to educate these kids because they don't want them to be educated. They don't want them to think for themselves. They want them to be sheep. They truly do. Like the best teaching gig I had was when I taught college-bound kids that were still in high school, but we did it at the college. So it was upward bound, if you're familiar with that. Now I got to tell the kids the truth about everything, and I wasn't brought back. And the main reason why I didn't really catch no flack was because the kid running the program, I knew him for 30 years, and he gave me a job as sort of like a pick-me-up. Just like, here, man, I got this for you. Go ahead, you can do this. You can handle this. I'll give this to you and go on about your life now. You need a boost. I'm going to give you a boost and then jet. And I got a lot of reviews from the kids afterwards because I went back and visited the program the next year. I didn't work there, and I just went back and saw the kids again, and they were like, I talked to my father and told him some of the things you told us, and they said that we were fortunate to have you as a teacher for that little bit of time, and I just want to thank you for that. And that was the last teaching gig I did. I tutored in math and reading, but that, again, more inner city kids that weren't about to really do shit or be shit. I can't waste my time with them. I'm sorry, ADOS.
I don't want to hear
Fuck
your mouth.
those kids. Half of them are gonna end up dead or in jail anyway.